and it just scared the hell out of me. He's crazy? He'll die if this goes on. I jumped out and stopped him. Big brother is still wondering why I am here. I'm dragging him home. Original. Since the last time my big brother got wet by me, he hurt his lungs. You can't do strenuous exercise. Then people will die. Unexpectedly, the eldest brother refused to go back with me and said I didn't understand him at all. Excited, he couldn't help but come politely. I was just about to hold him. He threw my hand away. Let me leave him alone. The second and third brothers can help me, and he will only drag me down due to his poor health. And I felt guilty. I remember in the book, although the eldest brother cannot help the distant master due to physical reasons, but he read a lot of books, not only knowledgeable. He became a doctor and one person, is one of my favorite characters. Think of this. I solemnly asked my brother if he believed me. Big brother looked at me with a puzzled face, and I said with my own life revelation, he will definitely become a famous figure. Big brother was moved to tears by me. Hold me tightly in your arms. And what we don't know is, this scene was captured by my father. The adults and the housekeeper are watching. My father was pleased with my change. He thinks he can consider giving me the home. Then he asked the butler again, "Have you found Daisy, the maid who killed me?" When I heard the butler say that Daisy was dead, the unflappable father, his face changed. He had a feeling. The people behind the show will definitely not give up. Time flies. Time flies. I was about to start school. I'm getting along with my brothers. Not only did he win the love of his father, it also lessens maternal eccentricity. And the Lord who encouraged Daishi behind her. There seems to be no movement. Today is my first day of school. So nervous and looking forward to it. 3 handsome brothers comforted me. Don't be nervous. They will take care of me. I won't let others bully me. Just when we said happy, a familiar figure hurried past me. Isn't that Emily, the heroine in the book? As a mother fan of the heroine, I decided to hug his thigh. The rope was killed by him. Just when I was worried, how can I attract his attention? Opportunity will come soon. A few noble ladies who took classes together know that Emily is an illegitimate daughter. They felt humiliated to take classes with him. I decided to play a trick on him. So they deliberately asked, "Why is Emily's hair color the same as in the family? Other people are different." When Emily said her hair color was inherited from her mother, dear time, they deliberately asked him who his mother was again. Emily was speechless when asked, looking at idols being bullied. My little universe exploded. Look at me aggressive. The girls asked me who I was in disdain. When I say I'm Saxony, the only daughter of Jew. They were unwilling to leave. Emily is very grateful for my bravery. He invited me to have a picnic after class. I just didn't expect it. During a picnic, I actually met the person I was most afraid of. The hero of this book, Little Duke Cyril. He greeted me with a feigned indifference. In order not to misunderstand the heroine Emily, I quickly moved my troops to the side and said I didn't know him well. Unexpectedly, this move aroused the interest of the male protagonist. He actually invited me to the circus next week to increase familiarity with each other. The atmosphere instantly became silent. Facing my future boss, I feel a lot of pressure. Just quickly refuse. Said he was going to learn to manage the manor with his father. No time to play. I didn't expect the male protagonist to refuse to let me go. He actually said that he could go to the manor to find me. Now I can't sit still at all. I left quickly on the pretext of going to the river to wash my face. I just picked up the water and felt something was wrong. There seems to be someone behind. The next second a masked man lunged at me. I flashed sideways and yelled for help. The man panicked and pushed me into the river. It just slipped away, and I ripped a piece of fabric from his clothes. The river is about to drown me. The little Duke and Emily hurried over. They lifted me out of the water. At the same time, my brothers also arrived. The third brother carried me home. The second brother went to apologize to the little Duke. After going home, changing clothes and drinking ginger tea, I feel so much better. Mother is also relieved. The third brother said proudly that I should thank him. Thanks to him for carrying me back all the way. Mother also smiled. Kudos to the brothers for doing a good job. Brothers, I can't believe it. She won her mother's praise. The father inquired in detail about what had happened. He asked me if I had seen the martyrer's face. I shook my head. He handed them his private clothes. Let them check to see if there are any clues. The father took the fabric and looked at it. Said it was inferior fabric worn by civilians. It's worthless. But the maid's real clothes said the fabric is made of a broad-leaved hemp, most commonly found on the southern side of vineyards. Look there. Maybe there's a clue. Father Wenyan immediately ordered someone to check, but I have a vague feeling it should be the adult who encouraged Daisy. We're back in action. The next day at school, my brothers packed a lot of things for me to take and told me to take care of myself. If you have anything, go to the next door to find them at any time. When separated from them, I met the Duke and Emily. The little Duke not only gave me a bottle, medicine prescribed by the court doctor, he also offered to help me get something. I politely declined. But what I don't know is, this scene was actually seen by the admirers of the little Duke. They decided to teach me a lesson. It's class time soon. Today is a court dance practice. Emily happily greets the little Duke. Unexpectedly, the little Duke not only ignored him. Instead, he told the teacher that he wanted to change his dance partner. I was so angry that I wanted to punch him. This bastard. How can you do this to your future wife? The little Duke ignored me at all. Tell the teacher directly that he wants me to be his dance partner. Hearing this, I was stunned. I'm CP Law. How can he let his scheme succeed? But the teacher has no principles at all. Under the microbed of the little Duke, agreed to his request. The little Duke came up and took me into his arms. Look at the reluctance on my face. He is angry. Asked me if I didn't want to be with him. I dared to mess with this future boss. Just an accidental step on his foot. At the same time, the teacher said to exchange dance partners. The swift departure of my Potter, out of his control. Suddenly there was a thorn. I felt a chill in my back. Then the clothes fell off. I clutched my chest in a panic, feeling inexplicably embarrassed. The next second a coat was draped over me. Look at the delicate cheeks of the little Duke. My heart suddenly beat fast and violently. Oops, what if the cub is so handsome? Online and other urgent insistence on getting old. The teacher immediately found the murderer. Little Duke. I also firmly supported his decision. Just didn't expect. Shrinking the murder weapon on Emily's body, the result scared Emily to death. He scrambled to explain that it wasn't him, and he didn't even know about the murder weapon. Where did it come from? As a mother fan of the heroine, of course Caitlin knew that the heroine was framed. He is so kind. It is impossible to do such a thing. So Caitlin, standing firmly on Emily's side, he indicated to the teacher that it was over. He stopped pursuing it. But the evil girl Liana, who has always been against him, but he wouldn't let them go. He believes that if the murderer is not punished, they don't feel safe going to school here. Teachers are afraid of losing the trust of their students. Let Emily clean the classroom after class, as punishment for him. Caitlin was about to refute the teacher's decision. It was stopped by Emily. Afraid of arguing again? They will be ostracized by everyone. Look at Emily's compromising look. Caitlin felt distressed. Take the initiative to stay after class. Cleaning with him? And this scene was seen by Liana again, although his frame-up failed to turn the two against each other. But it can cut Caitlin's skirt. That's pretty exciting. What they don't know is, the theft of two people. The whispering happened to be overheard by three passing by. How dare you frame your sister so blatantly? The third brother decided to give them a big surprise. The next day, at the practice of court martial arts, it's Caitlin and the little Duke again. Liana was going crazy. He thought it must have been Caitlin who seduced the little Duke. Because of the road, a little snake suddenly. It fell into his hand. And he was terrified. I feel like I'm about to ascend to heaven. Just then, the companion woke up. He told him that the snake had crawled away and found a letter. I saw it said, if he dares to bully Caitlin again next time, then let him eat the snake. lean after watching. Not only did he not restrain his behavior, instead, he swore to himself, make sure to run Caitlin out of school. Caitlin doesn't know anything about this yet. At this moment, he is very worried about his eldest brother not coming to dinner. The thought of my big brother being alone, he couldn't sit still. He hurried to the big brother's room. Second brother after he left, I have no interest in eating. I decided to go see my brother too. But just got to the door, he heard his eldest brother say that he had no strength. Caitlin immediately offered to help him. The second brother looked through the crack of the door curiously. I saw Caitlin carefully blow the rice cold. Feed it to the big brother one bite at a time. Seeing this scene, the second brother is very puzzled. He remembered that the doctor had just seen his eldest brother, but not so much that I can't even eat. Is it pretending? If so, that big brother. My feelings for Kate have really changed dramatically. He hasn't figured it out yet. Parents take them to church. Look at Kate's stunning profile. The second brother suddenly understood the big brother's thoughts. He couldn't help but approach Kate. The third brother on the side also came over. When Kettering opened her eyes, the two brothers have already squeezed onto him, and they were successfully evicted by the priest. On the way back, mother is angry about it. Feel they have disgraced the Saxons. Father to give them a few. The good news. It turns out that the last time Caitlin, the murderer who was pushed into the water, has found clues. I believe he will be caught on fire soon. Just as everyone was happy about it, a masked man suddenly appeared on the side of the road. He took the knife and slashed at Kettering. The girl not only did not dodge but also froze in place. In the nick of time, the third brother stood in front of the girl. The second brother also took the opportunity to step forward and throw the man to the ground. After the man is caught, not only does he not beg for mercy, he also said hoarsely that he must kill Caitlin. Brother 3 can't care about the injury to his arm, anxiously asked him where Caitlin provoked him. I didn't expect the man to cry and say, Caitlin killed Daisy. Hearing this, everyone was taken aback. No wonder I can't find Daisy. It turns out that the man is Daisy's fiancé. He assassinated Caitlin to avenge Daisy. Caitlin's grievances. It was Daisy who hurt herself first, and he ran for it. Men are not satisfied with this explanation. He thinks Caitlin killed someone and is pretending to be innocent. Fortunately, someone had already told him the truth in advance. He will not be deceived. The second brother immediately heard the loophole in his words. Ask him who told him the truth. Unexpectedly, men would rather die than tell them who they are. Dad knew it wasn't easy, but there is no better way. At this point, Caitlin said he would let the man go. The third brother thought he was crazy when he heard it. How can the murderer be easily spared? But Caitlin stood by his opinion. Man can't believe it. Escape death today. But let go of the cruel words before leaving. He will still kill him if there is a chance in the future. The third brother was furious, yelling to bring the man back. Whipped 100 times. Father and second brother are much calmer. They all think men are just pawns. Killing isn't much use. Instead, you can find the mastermind behind the scenes through him. The judgment of the third brother, Heitlin sincerely admired. As expected of Yuan Shuzhang, who could kill his second brother, much smarter than the third brother. After the stabbing incident, Heitlin's life returned to peace. He has a headache in daily political class, but there is someone in front of him who is more troublesome for him. The little duke waited here on purpose. Invite him to the circus. And without thinking, Heitlin refused, although the cub is handsome. But as a mother fan, you can't ignore your mother's forehead. He and Emily are a couple, but the little duke didn't want to let him go. After all, he said Emily was there. Hearing this, Caitlin immediately gave up the resistance. I can't get away with it anyway. Then go to CP. But when he reached his destination, only to find out that the little duke had deceived him, Emily didn't come at all. Caitlin was furious, just about to turn around and leave. A word from the little duke made him stop. Stopped. Aren't you afraid of offending our family when you leave? Caitlin suddenly remembered many of the father's political opinions in the original book. needs the support of the Duke. If you offend the little Duke, I'm afraid it will bring disaster to the family. Think of this. He patiently told the little Duke that it was only once. Next time you deceive me again. And I got really mad. Heard Caitlin promised to stay. The little Duke was overjoyed. Go on a merry-go-round and watch the fireworks. But Caitlin was never happy. Feel his unhappiness. The little Duke conjured up a cloth and changed my voice to say I'm the annoying Leona. I'm the ugliest lady in the empire. See the funny look in the little Duke. Caitlin finally burst out laughing. And what he didn't know was Emily in the dark. Watched their every move. Clearly, look at the expectant eyes of the little Duke. Caitlin had no choice but to agree. He decided to make a pear stew in red wine. Wash all the ingredients and put them in the pot. After simmering for half an hour, he feels almost ready. I just want to go to the bathroom first and then serve the food when I come back. But what he doesn't know is, someone after he left secretly put medicine in the soup. Unsuspecting, Caitlin served the soup to the young man. Ju got his compliment as expected. The little Duke devoured it quickly, but the next second he felt something was wrong. His stomach was pierced by thousands of sharp blades. A piercing pain filled my body. Beads of sweat trickled down his head. He clutched his stomach and made a lot of noise. The housekeeper saw something was wrong. Take him to the doctor immediately. Caitlin followed suit. I waited for about half an hour. The doctor just came out of the little Duke's room. The Duke hastened to meet him and asked how it was. The doctor reassured them by saying, "The little Duke has taken his medicine and fallen asleep. This is acute abdominal pain caused by food mold. Nothing serious." Hearing this, Caitlin quietly breathed a sigh of relief. I'm secretly glad that nothing major happened, but the Duke was very angry. He asked the housekeeper, "Why would the young master eat mold?" The housekeeper broke out in a cold sweat. Hesitant defense. It was Miss Caitlin who made the red wine shield for the young master. This sentence makes the Duchess's anger had a place to vent. He thinks Caitlin. He deliberately let his son eat moldy pears. Caitlin's aggrieved defense says no, but the Duchess didn't want to hear his explanation at all. He just wants to punish the woman who killed his son. At this critical juncture, Father came out and stopped them. He first apologized to the Duchess and asked him to calm down, and then vouch for it with his own personality. Believe Caitlin wouldn't do such a thing. I hope I can give him a chance to explain. The Duchess didn't expect, with so much evidence. The Count of Saxony is still so kind. Protect your daughter, although angry, but he still decided. Give Caitlin a chance to prove his innocence. Seeing my father trust me so much, I'm willing to contradict the Duchess for myself. Caitlin was filled with gratitude. He took out a bag and handed it to the Duchess. It contains the leftovers of the little Duke's food. The residue just needs to be checked by a doctor. I knew what was going on. The doctor tasted it carefully and told the Duke. The soup did smell like mold, but not the mold that grows in pears, but some kind of medical molds that can be purchased in pharmacies. The Duke was furious when he heard this. Immediately orders someone to go to the pharmacy to check. See who bought this. Caitlin noticed that Emily's complexion was not very good. I asked him what was wrong with me. When he learned that Emily couldn't sleep, I decided to find some lavender to help him sleep. The two are chatting happily, and Leanna came up and gloated. "You poisoned the little Duke last night? Why did you come to school today?" Caitlin sounds bad. He was afraid that Emily would misunderstand him. Just explain. He thought Emily was going to the circus last night too. He had absolutely no intention of meeting the little Duke alone. Emily looked embarrassed. It wasn't that he didn't trust Caitlin. He's just a little worried about the little Duke. After the misunderstanding is solved, the two made an appointment to visit together after class. The little Duke completely ignored Leanna's existence. Leanna, who was exasperated, put down her harsh words. He thinks Caitlin poisoned the little Duke. Trying to go back to school is a dream. At the same time, someone from the academic affairs office came over, just as Leanna was proud of her prophecy, when it is about to be fulfilled, and they dragged him off campus. Leanna struggled desperately. He thinks they've got the wrong guy. I didn't expect Caitlin to smile wickedly. Told him something. It turns out that the Duke found out last night. He was the one who bought the mold at the pharmacy. He was the one who sneaked into the restaurant and poisoned it. Hearing this, Liana finally felt afraid. But it's too late. He will be punished. Emily and Caitlin after class. Let's go see the little Duke together. Received a snack from Emily. The little Duke doesn't care. Ask Caitlin instead. Why didn't you bring him a gift? Watching the cub go further and further on the road to death, Caitlin feels so helpless. He had no choice but to smile. They say that what they make is poisonous. Unexpectedly, the little Duke stared at him intently. I'm looking forward to saying it's toxic. Emily couldn't watch it anymore. Just say that there is something at home that you have to leave first. Caitlin is getting ready. Chase out, but was grabbed by the little Duke and wouldn't let him go. Caitlin couldn't help but yell at him. Are you trying to get me killed? The little Duke wondered why he said that. But Caitlin knew. He can't tell the plot of the book. So he had to laugh and explain. We are just ordinary friends. I hope you can keep your distance. Then he broke free from the little Duke's hand. Chased after Emily. The other side, Emily accidentally ran deep into the woods and got lost. He suddenly heard someone talking in front of him. Thinking of begging kind people to take him out of the woods, he quickens his pace and walks towards the source of the sound. I didn't expect the next moment. He heard the man say, Caitlin, I want to see your whereabouts. Lure me out? Hear Caitlin's name? Emily immediately became alert. He hid behind the tree and peeked there secretly. I saw the man say cautiously to the man in black, we meet now. Will it be exposed? The man in black said no. Next second, he took out a dagger and stabbed the man in the chest. Emily covered her mouth in horror at this scene. I was about to leave, but accidentally made a noise, caught the attention of the man in black. The man in black caught up with him and was about to kill him with a knife. He was quick. Shout out that you can help him kill Caitlin. The knife that was stabbing at him suddenly stopped in midair, facing the distrustful gaze of the man in black. Emily went on to explain, I was his best friend. He is not wary of me. As long as you spare me, let me do anything. The man in black believed him. He took a 3-day poison for him. If he doesn't poison Caitlin within 3 days, then he will die by himself. Finally escaped from the hands of the man in black. Emily is getting ready to go home, but he met Caitlin who came to find him, facing his concerned gaze. Light Emily said coldly, stay away from me.